to having these chats. Me privately, that is something that I can do, is work out to be down at training if it's if it's allowed and everything. So then I can see the behaviours that are taking place. If there's video, we can watch that. There's so many subtle things that we do that are just ingrained because we don't realise what they are. Again, bringing that awareness to some things that we do, then we can start to improve them and therefore be in a position that's a better mental state for our performance. So, here's some important considerations to think about. And these might fit well into those behaviour items. So in order to perform when the lights come on, these habits and behaviours and new skills need to be practiced daily in training. Right, that famous phrase, champions are made when no one's watching. Right, we don't just turn up on the day and do the business. There's very few people in the world that can do that. But it's actually in training day to day, that's when the commitment happens. That's when those behaviours happen. Our social support. So we want the people that are closest to us, our family, our teammates, our coaches, we want them to know what we're doing to improve our mental game. What conversations are we having with the mindset coach outside of it? We want to make sure they're on board so they can keep us accountable. Okay, they can also probably bring some experience of when they've worked with people that have done that as well. And therefore you get another input into how it can be successful. And with this, as well as the goal setting and what we were talking about with mental health as well, just honest and open feedback and discussion. That's going to be key to everything. With all the key stakeholders we've spoken about, whether it's me as the mindset coach, your technical coaches, your parents, your teammates, whoever it is, having those open conversations, those honest conversations, that allows you to grow the most. So it's all about our preparation and our commitment. So the plan that we put in place is what we do in day to day, moment to moment in training. That's our preparation for the competition. We commit to that training time. We get to perform how we want to in the competition. We get to achieve the goals that we want to achieve. But just as we practice physical, technical, tactical on a daily basis or however frequently you train, this mental side of the game needs to come into your training every session. I'm working with a golfer who's just turned pro, and he was having some trouble disconnecting between shots. So he'd hit a shot, and if it didn't go well, he'd have that whole walk to the next shot just killing himself in his head. So we came up with a strategy where they've got the glove. So he'll hit a shot. Hey, it didn't go where I wanted it to go. We reflect on that for a couple of seconds. He opens his glove, and that means that his like shot thought is done. He opens that glove and he thinks about something. He's also interested in football. He thinks about football, or he chats to his caddy. He chats to the other competitors. He gets to the next shot. He's now not been berating himself the whole time, so he's in a more positive mental state. And then part of his pre-shot routine now is, I think it's like looking at the wind, choosing the club, lining up, deciding where we want to go, how we want to attack it. Glove on, it's game time, it's shot time. And then we're in. So it's that disconnection between shots that's been really, really good with him. Another player who's playing in an academy, a football academy, he's 18, 17. He has a hard time with confidence and maintaining his confidence despite being a very talented player. And so we got to the point where we've got 6 like flashcards that he puts in his bag that he reads in the dressing room before he goes out on the pitch. And these flashcards are things that he knows he does well. When he's confident and playing the best he does, this is what he does. And therefore, by reading these flashcards, they go into his conscious mind and his subconscious mind, so that if things happen on the field, he can revert back to whatever's on the cards for him. And it's just a reminder for him. So, they're just a couple of examples of some practical things that I'm working with people at the minute. I'll do another one, a guy who, again, he's a footballer in an academy, and just kills himself for mistakes. So if he misplaces a pass or doesn't go where he wants it to go, he really gives himself a hard time. So obviously that has a real negative effect on his confidence. But this is something that I personally did once I learned about this as well, is if there's a mistake, snap your fingers and then that's that disconnect and we move on. So we're playing the game, we've made that pass, crap, that wasn't where I wanted it to go. What do I need to do now though? My team still needs me. And that's been something that's been really, really powerful. One thing to mention with this is when you're working with a private mindset coach, sports psychologist, everything is confidential. So I've just shared a few examples, but you've got no way in knowing who those people are. Okay? When you work with somebody within an organization, that's a conversation that they will have with you, because obviously they're closer to your coaches than what I am. Okay? And I don't know how they work in different organizations. That depends on the structure of the organization. But that's something you can talk about with them. But if we work with me as a private organization, everything we chat about is completely confidential. So a couple of people were asking about anxiety earlier. So we're talking about performance anxiety. I want to go through a case study here. So before a competition, before a performance, this, let's call player A, or yeah, this player, this swimmer, this diver, okay, gets serious nerves to the point of like feeling real nausea at times, unable to eat and fuel properly for the event, rushing thoughts, can't stop the thoughts spiraling down into negative thought patterns, shaking and sweaty palms. Okay, so all kind of symptoms of pre-competition anxiety. So in your groups, I want you to just have a few minutes and brainstorm if you have any ideas how we may be able to combat those. Okay, and then I've got about 7 or 8 different things that I might work through people with. Okay, but just have a think, how might you be able to combat those nerves?